Well, how about this? Death. Gotta be so sure.
The final chapter.
The final chapter.
Or is it?
That's exactly it. Or is it? Gotta be so sure.
I'm starting to
not
think
so
it's
much.
Not.
Exactly. All right. So let's talk about death.
Well, I'm baptized, so
Okay.
I went to church. Not every Sunday, but you bet your ass on Easter and Christmas. For sure. So I knew about God. Obviously, some people will grow up in a more atheist household. Not necessarily my case, but my parents weren't like pray every night or fucking apologize for swearing. It's no, and it's my parents were way more chill in that aspect. The church thing came from my grandma and my not even my grandpa, definitely more my grandma. But so yeah, man, death. And it's what's that?
Well, raised with religion.
What is death? You're promised more after life, really.
Yeah.
Whether it's the bad more or the good more.
Well, raised with religion, right? The idea of heaven and hell.
This is not
was obviously brought into the equation, I'm sure. How do you feel about the idea of that? How do you feel about the idea of reincarnation? Do you feel as though, when it's over, do you become one with the soup, one with the ether? What are your views on what happens afterwards?
I guess right now I stand at a point where not everyone gets the same thing after death. You know what I mean? And maybe some of us now are so it's a little Buddhist-y, I think, what I'm about to say, and more of that territory of knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Not, I like it. Let's go down that road.
Western Christian Catholic Orthodox. Now we're talking more the Asias.
Okay.
Yeah, where it's some of us maybe are first time down here in the material world, where energy is exchanged through our senses and we interpret the reality around us. But maybe others are for whatever reason, no, I need to go back down there. I didn't finish what I started.
Or want to try something new. You know, you play a video game over again.
Know, man.
Go on, keep going.
So it's that meat vessel concept is what I apply to. We aren't our bodies, we're just kind of in them. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Some fucking for a real quick analogy, the body's just the horse.
Yeah.
The soul's the rider. On that Tarantino Hateful Eight. And I think when the horse dies and the body dies, the cowboy has to get off, obviously. Say goodbye to the horse.
Yeah.
But cowboy has legs. Cowboy can walk. Who's to say the cowboy doesn't find a new horse? Or maybe he goes to the saloon and hangs out for a bit.
Hey,
that saloon is heaven.
There we go. I like it. I like that.
And maybe on the way to the saloon, though, some riders find him. And then that cowboy's fighting for his life. And his 6-shooter's all he's got because his horse just passed him.
All right.
And ain't coming back.
All right.
So.
Well, how about this? You're raised religious in a way. Did that stay
yeah.
with you? Are you religious now? Are you spiritual now? You were talking more towards Asia and such for influence. Where are you at nowadays?
There's no title right now on it, but there's definitely I'm very much spiritual, and I like to think I'm religious too, but I'm not going to church necessarily. I'll go to church when this is sad, unfortunately, when someone in my family dies, because that's just my grandpa passed away not too long ago now, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. But that was really sad. I was just yeah, that's when you see me at church now. I lost someone during the pandemic too. One of my uncles. I had to go to church then, and it's just so it's I get reminded of how I was raised.
Yeah.
But I also know kind of the church is an institution that might not necessarily have the cleanest background when you check up on it. So it's just
talking an organized religion, that's fair enough.
So it's just
What about spirituality? You know, as you've grown older and perhaps, you know, maybe you don't agree with what's going on behind the scenes there, the message that's been passed on to you through your, you know, youth and growing up religious, or influence through your parents, family and such, or life experiences of your own. Do you find yourself to be a spiritual person nowadays?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Totally. Absolutely.
All right.
It's just like... when you try and figure out the details of it, as far as just like what is life, like not like how you live it, but it's just like the simulation, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, what is this thing like? Let alone like if you really like, oh man, some people laugh at the flat earthers out there, but it's just like when you really take it from a central point of view, you hear some really good debates coming from. Aside at first when you hear it, it's just like no fucking way, but then you really have to ask yourself, because like if you do a little bit, this is how I describe the flat earth theory, for example, is like the ultimate like mind test of like how much of the world you know can you let go,
okay,
in order to maybe humor the idea that call it the matrix theory, the simulation theory, call it the controlled system, call it like the architects of society. Like how much of it do you want to like admit is like been structured to the point where it's just like the prisoners built the prison and now they're fighting for it because they built it.
What is life to you?
What is love? No. What is life? What is life, dude?
You know, in regards to like, what's life to you? Okay.
To me? I don't know. It's
okay.
It's a bit like a video game. Truth be told, like you play some fucking first persons, you know, like man, and then you play Sims, and then you play fucking Grand Theft Auto. It's Grand Theft Auto and Sims.
Yeah.
It's like you can't like just be an asshole like running people over. Unless you're a fucking asshole running people over. Hopefully we catch you. Like, yeah, man, it feels like that a little bit right now, for sure. And
oh, yeah.
I don't think COVID helps. But yeah, but like on another level, what is life? Yeah, man. It's definitely like, you know what's a good question? It's like, did our souls like want to like come here, or were we like trapped here by force? You know what I mean? It's just like, that was something I was thinking about the other day.
I like that.
Yeah, because it's just like, you guys know where I stand now with that type of thing. So it's like, yeah, like how did my soul get here? Was I put here? Did I ask to be here? It's like, here religious talks about that. It's just like, yeah, what is life, man? Is it like the prison that like someone put us in, or is it like the simulation that like our souls know about? It's like boot camp. Is it like that thing where it's just like anyone outside of the army, and like I'm not a military dude by any means, like it's like anyone outside the army, they have a stigma about the military where it's just like you kind of have to be like, they're gonna kind of whip you into shape. It's gonna be like some full metal jacket shit, like some hard motherfuckers, like you don't want to get caught acting soft. And it's just like people, and like I'm sure all that's like true to like a certain degree, but then you actually get in there, it's just like maybe more of a different thing. I think life is like that. It's just like our souls were like, yeah, you gotta be a hot ass motherfucker to get into life and like live in it. You gotta fucking do this. You gotta work. You gotta survive. There's a financial system. Like, it's like you're going to this decade. Like 5,000 years ago, we can get you there if you want. You're building the pyramids, and just like maybe that's kind of what our souls were thinking. It's just like no, I want to sign up. I want to go into the military of life, and then like we get in, and it's just like yeah, you still got some time here, and it's just like you're relieved when you're relieved. So that's kind of where life is, I think, right now. Like it's something I signed up for, and it's just like I still gotta finish.
I like that, brother.
Yeah,
I love that.
Dude.